justice.
Coming up on 12 News First Edition, some lawmakers work to prevent a vaccine mandate from taking effect. And we'll look at a big donation made by former WVU punter Pat McAfee to help children.
Strong storms and gusty winds are moving into the region as we head overnight into tomorrow. I'll have those details coming up next as 12 News First Edition starts now.
Working for you. 12 News in High Definition starts now.
Welcome to 12 News First Edition. I'm Jeena in for Don Gray. An Ohio man has been charged after officers say they found a large amount of drugs and drug items during a traffic stop in Clarksburg. Clarksburg police say they assisted with a vehicle stop, and a canine conducted a free air sniff and indicated the presence of drugs. During a search, police say they found one of the passengers, 44-year-old Mark Hickman of Belpre, Ohio, with presumed meth, presumed cocaine, presumed magic mushrooms, prescription pills, marijuana, THC wax, and drug items. Hickman is charged with possession with intent to deliver. A Pennsylvania woman is accused of having more than 1,000 heroin stamps in Upshur County. Buchanan police stopped a vehicle for speeding, and a canine unit indicated the presence of drugs. Officers say they found about 1,000 heroin stamps along with documents belonging to 21-year-old Samantha Kennedy of Coraopolis, Pennsylvania, who has also had a drug charge in that state. Police say Kennedy told them she also had nearly a brick of heroin concealed on her person. Kennedy faces multiple drug charges in the incident. A Marion County mining company has been found responsible for the death of a miner during a June incident at one of its facilities. An accident report filed by the Mine Safety and Health Administration shows that a fatal mine accident that occurred was the result of the mine operator's lack of policy and evaluation for the conditions. That led to the incident. The reports say 25-year-old Trenton Dill of Littleton, who was a section foreman for the Marion County mine, died after a portion of the mine rib sheared off and pinned him against a continuous mining machine as he was attempting to install a rib bolt. You can read more at our website, wboy.com. Now to the latest on the pandemic here in West Virginia. There are now more than 9,000 active cases of coronavirus. That's an increase of 180, along with 5,085 deaths, an increase of 30. This includes data reconciliation of death certificates for 17 people. In total, 6 of the deaths are from our area. They're from Preston, Marion, Mon, Ritchie, and Randolph counties. The federal government's vaccine mandate is now tied up in court, but lawmakers on Capitol Hill want to overturn the president's mandate. Rashad Hudson reports on their efforts.
We voted to say to the president no.
West Virginia Senator Shelley Moore Capito says she believes the House will do the same and vote to overturn President Biden's vaccine mandate for private sector employees.
It shouldn't be the president saying and mandating that you have to be required to take a vaccine.
Although Capito encourages people to get vaccinated, she fears a mandate will make the labor shortage worse. But Ohio Senator Sherrod Brown says the idea of mandating a vaccine to save lives is not new.
People get vaccinated as kids against all kinds of childhood diseases, and we don't think twice about it.
Even though the vote to overturn the vaccine mandate included 2 Democrats, Brown says Republicans are just trying to score political points.
People are being demagogues about it, trying to gain political advantage, and people are dying as a result.
Brown says regardless of what happens in the courts or with legislation, he wants companies to step up.
90% plus of people in hospitals with COVID are unvaccinated. So we know it works.
While the bill now heads to the House, it's unclear if Democratic leaders will allow it to come up for a vote. Reporting in Washington, Rashad Hudson.
In October, Governor Justice signed a bill awarding almost $4 million to the Victims of Crime Act's Assistance Sub-Grant Funds. The money offsets federal budget cuts to the Victims of Crime Act program. Before the bill was passed, child advocacy centers were looking to lay off employees and obtain other funding to cover utilities and rent. They intended to cut expenses in other areas to reduce the impact on services.
Only a handful of states have leadership that are stepping in to save these services. So we're lucky to live in a state where we care about and actually act on our care for the underdogs and the people who are hurting most. So I'm grateful for that. But yeah, it is a very challenging time to be doing this kind of work.
The program is expecting a cut of 66% of funds for next year, and Flack says she hopes other funding becomes available. The Harrison County Child Advocacy Center had a record-breaking year, serving more than 500 children. The center serves Harrison, Doddridge, Barber, and Taylor counties. Director Jane Latiker says abuse thrives in isolation, and when school was shut down during the pandemic, children were more exposed to traumatic environments. She says services will not be suitable without government funding.
It feels to be in a strange space, to be so grateful that we have the funding for this upcoming year, and yet so fearful of what's going to happen in the future. So the thought that due to budget cuts, we would be unable to provide those services for children is just absolutely, we can't let that happen.
With only 6 employees, Latiker says laying them off to continue services is not an option. WVU football alum and former NFL punter Pat McAfee is giving back to his Morgantown roots. McAfee announced a $1 million donation to WVU Medicine's Children's Hospital. The 9-story, 150-bed facility is under construction next to Ruby Memorial Hospital in Morgantown. He said in his video announcement that the hospital was the first place where he ever felt what it was like to serve the community when visiting children there. Another WV football alum and legendary quarterback, Jeff Hostetler, who serves on the hospital's leadership council, has been involved in raising funds for the hospital for the past 4 years. He says he gets chills seeing the construction come to completion.
That donation from Pat and his team has been amazing, and he will have an impact. That donation will have an impact on so many families and kids that we probably will never know. And it's up to us now to take that and continue to run with that and have impacts. We can all have impacts. We can all leave an impression, make a mark, and that's our goal.
McAfee's donation comes after he secured a $30 million per year deal for the Pat McAfee Show with FanDuel. The Doddridge County Community Foundation is launching its year-end giving campaign for its foundation. The theme for the campaign is Give for Good Forever, which is the foundation says reflects their purpose of building resources today to ensure Doddridge County needs can be met now and in the future. Any donations from their campaign will go towards the foundation's grant process, which supports several organizations in Doddridge County. Officials from the foundation say they're glad for the donations so they can continue to help others in the community.
We wouldn't exist unless we had caring individuals who wanted to make sure that there was funding available for our region, and really were committed to wanting to make sure that the community could be the best it could be. So it's always very exciting to be able to provide those grants and scholarships and be able to invest in our region.
If you'd like to make a donation to the Doddridge County Community Foundation to help any of its affiliates in our area, we'll have that link on our website, WBOY.com. Now for an update on a food drive being put on by the Bridgeport Police Department. Due to expected rain, the event that was originally set for Saturday has been rescheduled for Monday from 3:30 to 6 p.m. on Johnson Avenue. Individuals will be able to drive by and drop off their donations. Santa will also be there for all the children to visit. Still to come, an area college is making a jump to becoming a university. That's next on 12 News First Edition, but first, here's Josh with our first forecast.
Thanks, Gina. As we take a look out at our weather eye here in Clarksburg, we do see those clouds beginning to roll in, and they are moving in quickly, bringing along with it some rain and some windy conditions. Looking across the region, in Elkins, it's currently 54 degrees, 57 here in Clarksburg, and 57 up in Morgantown. Winds are relatively light for the time being, but as we head into the overnight hours, they are expected to increase substantially as we look across the region. We are under a wind advisory now for Wetzel, Marion, Mon, Preston, Tucker, Randolph, and Webster counties through tomorrow night rather. So gusts can get up to 45 to 60 miles per hour, as well as some down trees and power lines are possible. I will have your full forecast coming up in just a bit.
What's better than one coach's show? How about two? Throughout December, the Neil Brown Show and the Bob Huggins Show will air back-to-back Saturday morning at 9.
This is where we defeat cancer, overcome devastating injuries, and achieve mobility. We triumph over disease, conquer pain, and accomplish our dreams. Ours is a story of success that continues to unfold as we emerge, expand, and grow to lead future generations. The only West Virginia hospital named 100 top in the nation again. United Hospital Center.
This is where healthcare is at its best.
You have a great dentist, but there are times when you need a dental specialist, like for braces, wisdom teeth removal, gum treatment, and dental implants. Wouldn't it be nice if there was a dentist specialist located near your hometown? Well, you're in luck. iSmile Specialists have offices in Elkins, Buchanan, Bridgeport, Fairmont, Morgantown, and Saberton. Call 844-iSmile1 or have your dentist refer you to iSmile Specialist, your hometown dental specialist.
When newsmakers want to talk to all America, they talk to News Nation.
Do you think that was a good idea?
If I would have known that I had to take 2 lives that night, I don't think I would have gone there.
Why have you used hand signs that are commonly associated with white supremacists?
I didn't know that the OK hand sign was a symbol for white supremacy.
Newsmakers turn to the fastest growing cable news network, News Nation. News for all America.
True Res, the new superior alternative to granite and quartz countertops with stunning colors and finish options. True Res is lightweight and easy to install. It's the #1 choice for the do-it-yourselfer and professionals alike, giving you complete control over your kitchen or bath remodel, all at half the cost. It's sure to make any kitchen or bath countertop the highlight of your home. Find your local showroom at trueres.com.
Follow Snowbird through all weather on WBOI. Brought to you by Meadowbrook Mall. Working for you. This is 12 News First Edition.
Marion County has a new retail store that has something on almost everyone's Christmas list this year. Tractor Supply held its ribbon cutting this morning outside of its new facility in the Middletown Loop in Fairmont. The store will officially open its doors for business tomorrow. Shoppers will find a variety of items in the main store and in the indoor and outdoor garden center, along with getting their pets washed in the do-it-yourself pet wash station. The store's manager says the chain store with 2,000 locations has come a long way since it opened in the late 1930s.
Well, one of the biggest mistakes when people think Tractor Supply is that we're only like parts for tractors and stuff, and that's not the case. I mean, as you can see, we have clothing, seasonal outerwear, so we have a lot of stuff for Christmas, toys, pets, cats, dogs. We have a lot of your normal feed for your cows and your horses. We do still have some tractor parts.
Tractor Supply will be open tomorrow from 8 a.m. till 9:30 p.m. Those hours are the same throughout the week, except for Sundays when it's 9 to 7:30. Glenville State College is becoming Glenville State University. Glenville State has been approved to implement 2 graduate-level programs, along with a designation from the Higher Education Policy Commission of university status. Those degrees are a Master of Arts in Education and a Master of Arts in Curriculum and Instruction. Coursework for both master's programs will be fully online. Still ahead, we'll have a live look of a Christmas parade tonight, plus an event for history buffs is set for tomorrow. Those details went after our first forecast on 12 News First Edition.
It's the most wonderful time of year when Wheel and Disney, what a great combination, team up for Secret Santa Week. Really? And our players all have one thing in common.
Disney fan?
Big Disney fan.
You collect Disney figures?
Little figures, big figures, Christmas figures, you name it.
As a game show host, I'm only interested in big figures.
We're making spirits bright.
Finally.
All this week on Wheel.
When he came to see us, the only thing he was worried about was what was he going to do with all those medical bills.
Forrest would call me from time to time and ask me how I was doing. He would ask me if I felt comfortable with the treatment. He did a wonderful job.
You can shop hundreds of vehicles right here at Chenoweth Ford or right on your phone. Just choose and click.
At chenford.com, you'll always get our lowest price. You can value your trade, explore finance options, and lock in your deal. It's simple, just choose and click.
You can even choose and click any vehicle at Chenoweth Pre-Owned. They're all at chenford.com.
Just choose and click from anywhere. Only at chenford.com, your #1 online dealer.
All I want for Christmas is a gift from Kaplan's Jewelry Store in Weston. Whether it be diamonds or gemstones, rings, pendants, earrings, or bracelets galore, Kaplan's has every price range to suit your needs, from solid gold to sterling silver, watches and clocks, to Vera Bradley purses and accessories. So let us wrap your special gift from Kaplan's Jewelry Store in Weston, because we're here for you.
Accidents change lives, and we're here to help get their life back on track.
An insurance company's goal is to make you go away for the least amount of money possible, and our job is to prevent that from happening.
You concentrate on getting better, and we'll take care of everything else.
Follow Snowbird through all weather on WBOI. Brought to you by the Miley Legal Group. Now, the area's most accurate forecast. Storm Tracker 12 weather. Certified storm ready and powered by Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, the official cleaning and restoration company of the West Virginia Mountaineers.
Good evening, North Central West Virginia. We have an eventful evening overnight and into tomorrow for you. Taking a look across the region currently, 57 in Clarksburg, 56 down in Webster Springs, 58 in Middleburn, West Union, as well as Ellenboro, as those clouds do begin to roll into the region. Taking a look overnight into tomorrow, thunderstorms and rain are going to continue all overnight into tomorrow. 50 degrees for a low tonight. Very mild conditions. Winds are going to begin to pick up out of the south, 5 to 10 mile per hour consistent, gusts up to 25 miles per hour. Then tomorrow we should reach a high of around 69 degrees. That will be in the morning as that front does push through, bringing us cooler temperatures throughout the day with rain and thunderstorms all throughout. Very breezy and temperatures dropping. Southwest winds at around 10 to 20 miles sustained, but gusts up to 40, if not a little higher in some areas. As we look at our future wind gusts currently, or 3 a.m. Saturday, we do see 38 mile per hour gusts in Weston, 45 in Middleburn, 44 over in Ellenboro, and they will continue to rise throughout the day on Saturday, as we see here at 11 a.m. tomorrow morning. 54 in Buchanan, 55 in Davis, 47 over in Ellenboro. So you are going to want to make sure that you are getting any of those Christmas decorations, any loose items outside, secured and put away, just because they will disappear before you know it if you keep that up. But moving into Saturday night, they do begin to die down slightly overnight Saturday into Sunday morning and throughout the day Sunday. But currently we are seeing a wind advisory for a large portion of our region. As we see Wetzel, Marion, Mon, Preston, Tucker, Randolph, and Webster counties currently do have a wind advisory. That means gusts can get up to potentially 60 mile per hour or higher. Down trees and power lines are possible, as well as some widespread power outages. So just make sure you are taking that into account as you head out. As we take a look at our severe weather threats, we see here that we are under a level 1 isolated severe thunderstorm possible for the majority of or part of our region, and under a storm threat for part of our region as well. So just make sure that you are taking that into account. But what do those threats entail? We see here gusty winds are very high through that, very medium chance of rain. Hail is not a very big factor that we are anticipating, and tornado chances are low as well, but there's still a chance that that could be out there. As we look at our radar here and in our predictor, we do see those rain chances increasing through the day today, and then we do have a large section coming in tomorrow. But if we take a look at our 7-day forecast, we see temperatures of 69 for a high tomorrow. Then we do clear out for the beginning of the week for very sunny skies and mild temperatures into next week.
I like the temperatures, but we need to stay alert for this severe weather.
Absolutely. So once we get through tomorrow, smooth sailing for the next week.
And bring in all those inflatable Santas, inflatable reindeer. We can't have them flowing away.
Exactly.
We need those.
All right. Now we have Pet Pride. It's sponsored by Rominger Dental. This is Lucy and Bear. They are brother and sister, and they live in Anmore with Terry and Vicky. If you'd like to submit a photo, email rlamp@wboi.com.
All right. Thanks, Josh. We'll check back in just a little bit. We appreciate the forecast. The holiday season is nipping at our nose as Christmas parades are in full swing throughout north central West Virginia. Tonight is no different. Chief Meteorologist Scott Sinkoff is live in Salem for a look at this evening's parade. Scott.
Thanks, Gina. Things are looking pretty good. You know, Christmas Eve is 2 weeks away from tonight, but it's already feeling like the holiday season here in Harrison County as Salem is kicking off their Christmas parade tonight at 6 p.m. over at the City Hall, and it goes all the way down toward the IGA. People already are coming, lining up on Main Street just to check out the festivities. The big man himself, Santa Claus, is going to be rounding out the parade as well. Afterwards, people are sticking around, singing O Tannenbaum, gathering around that Christmas tree for the annual Christmas tree lighting over at the Salem Community Center. So don't be a Scrooge, be a jolly old St. Nick. Come on out to the Salem Christmas Parade as we are looking at more Christmas parades as we head into our weekend as well. It looks like a whole bunch of fun for you and for the entire family here in north central West Virginia, not just in Salem, but across the region as well. Reporting over in Harrison County, Scott Sinkoff, 12 News. Gina, back to you.
Thanks, Scott. Tomorrow, Woodlawn Cemetery will be holding Winter at Woodlawn for the community to check out. The event will let people tour the Woodlawn house and learn about the history behind it, as well as see how the house has been renovated since 2016. The event will be from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. with tea and crumpets offered to anyone who stops by. The free tours are something officials from the cemetery are hoping will show the public about the history of Fairmont, as well as how far the house has come with generous donors.
It's really awesome because there were a lot of naysayers. I laughed. There were some prominent people in Fairmont said, Bickerstaff, it's never going to happen. You can't do that. You know, God provides. When you say prayers, God provides.
Anyone wanting to attend tomorrow can park at the Veterans Plaza, and the Fairmont Regional Transit Authority will come by every 20 minutes to take people to the house and back. Stick around, there's still time for you to get entered into the Holiday Lights Contest going on right now. We'll tell you how to do that when 12 News First Edition continues.
At Rominger Dental, we want your visit to be comfortable, convenient, and quick. Call today to see Dr. J.
Pet Pride, brought to you by Rominger Dental.
For end-of-life decisions, anyone can make a referral. Call West Virginia Caring today to start the process.
One of Valley Healthcare System's hallmark services is our crisis unit. Our unit remains open for detox and other related behavioral health short-term residential services. Need help? Call us today.
I'm Big Roy, the giant in the mountains at Roy's RV Supercenter in Elkin. Do you have a sense of adventure or just like to have fun? The CF Moto Side-by-Side is a perfect match for you. And Roy's has a huge shipment of CF Moto Side-by-Side arriving just in time for hunting season. These babies are made both for utility and sport. Come get yours now at Roy's RV Supercenter in Elkins before they're all gone. Check us out online at roysrv.com.
I've had many clients come to me after an accident needing help, but worried about going to trial. I'm Tim Manchin. At Manchin Injury Law, most of our cases do settle out of court with fair compensation, like the significant recovery we obtained for a client hit head-on by another car. But if the insurance company refuses to pay, we'll go to court and fight for you and your family. Manchin Injury Law, when it's your time for justice.
A cancer diagnosis can be life-shattering. But with determination, perseverance, and a little faith, you can bring the pieces back together to create something beautiful. At UHC Cancer Center, we're in that process together, one piece at a time. Learn more at wvcancercenter.com.
Have you recently been diagnosed with depression? You may qualify for the largest clinical trial of depression in Appalachia. You'll be compensated for your time and travel is not required. To find out if you're eligible, visit our website or call 866-984-AMHI.
Join WBOI and Solar Holler in our 21 Nights of Lights contest. Visit WBOI.com under the contest tab and submit a photo of your holiday lights to win $250.
It's time for the 21 Nights of Lights contest, where we feature some of the best holiday lights across the area. You can visit our website, WBOI.com, for you to win $250 courtesy of Solar Holler. The deadline to submit a photo is December 19th at 11:59 p.m. Now here's Josh with a final look at our forecast.
Make sure you are bringing in those Christmas decorations tonight because it is going to be windy with those storms pushing through. 69 degrees for a high tomorrow. Those storms are going to persist through the early afternoon and evening hours before they do clear out and give us a nice start, but a chilly start for next week.
But watch out there tomorrow. Be careful, everyone. We want to stay safe. And that's it for First Edition on this Tuesday evening. Be sure to join us back here at 6 o'clock.
West Virginia Tonight is next. We'll see you in about half an hour.